This is your Icewind Dale DM guide for the town of Bryn Shander and its quest, Foaming Mugs, from Icewind Dale, Rime of the Frostmaiden. Hi, Bob here, and welcome to Bob World Builder, where we learn how to have more fun playing D&D together. So hit that subscribe button to get new guides, reviews, and more every Wednesday. Bryn Shander is a large, walled town on a lonely hill, lashed by a fierce wind that twists its bright street lanterns, adding flecks of color to the town's otherwise drab surroundings. Recently, friendliness has dwindled with the number of visitors, and the locals are becoming more tense, but there's still no safer place in Icewind Dale to spend coin or spend the night. In fact, Bryn Shander is the friendliest and most comfortable town in Icewind Dale, with the best services available and the highest population. The town speaker is a relatively young human noble named Duvessa Shane, who leads the council of all town speakers. Shane also appears in the Storm King's Thunder adventure, with her own stat block and helpful role-playing information, indicating she's the daughter of a Waterdeep trader and a local tavern server, inheriting her mother's talent for negotiation with her father's charm, and believing she has much to prove. Storm King's Thunder has similar details for Markham Southwell, Bryn Shander's sheriff and militia commander. Beldora, the Harper contact of your character with the Harper Spy secret, and other useful NPCs like Ogrek Brighthelm, a dwarven deputy who gives your party a perfectly relevant Bryn Shander welcome in that module. Well met, travelers. Keep your fingers and your extremities under wraps, lest Arl bite them off. Mind your tempers, and you'll be most welcome here. Brought goods to sell. The market lies straight ahead. Craving a warm drink? May I recommend a drop of Firebeard's Fire Brandy, sold only at Kelvin's Comfort, located on your right as you enter the market square. And I found it both funny and sad that the town crest features wheat to signify their prosperity, yet they choose to sacrifice people instead of food or warmth. No wonder tourism is dwindling, even though Bryn Shander is connected to half of the towns. It's about 10 hours from Caer Dineval, 7 from East Haven, 6 from Goodmead and Tourmaline, and only 2 from Targos. Now, Storm King's Thunder has 14 total Bryn Shander locations, double the amount in Rime of the Frostmaiden. So let's go through Storm King's locations and add the Frostmaiden material as we go. Area 1, the Outer Gates, has detailed information on the trails, towers, walls, and gates, including their AC and hit points, and this is where Deputy Brighthelm welcomes your party. 2, the Stables is helpful for any town, stating that mounts can be quartered here and fed for 1 silver piece per night. 3, the Council Hall is a nondescript warehouse for the town speakers to meet in that otherwise stands empty, ready to be converted into a shelter for refugees. 4, the House of the Triad is a large stone temple built by the dwarves of Kelvin's Cairn. It's dedicated to Tyr, the god of justice, Torm, the god of courage and self-sacrifice, and Ilmater, the god of endurance in the face of suffering, whom you'd think would be pretty popular right now. But it says the temple's keepers usually stay no more than 2 years, so maybe the House of the Triad has been abandoned during the rime, making room for the House of the Morninglord, a modest shrine to the sun god Amanator, run by a retired adventurer, Mishan, who doesn't like it when people confuse her Morninglord with Lathander, the god of dawn and rebirth. Of course, she's currently housing a gnomish acolyte of Lathander, Copper Knobberknocker, and the two argue incessantly, which is hilarious because Copper wears a homemade cold weather onesie that is written to make him look like a teddy bear. Copper is also the quest giver for the deadly Black Cabin in Chapter 2, but you should probably hold off on that until your players can survive a blast of 10d10 plus 35 radiant damage. Yeah. Then Area 5 is the Speaker's Palace, an overstatement compared to actual palaces, but it's a fine home of dwarvish stone that stands out among the mostly rough wood dwellings of Bryn Shander. 6, the Town Hall is the largest building in the central square, reserved for community feasts and gatherings like the human sacrifice lotteries. Plus, the basement contains the sheriff's office and a jail cell. 7, the marketplace should probably be abandoned, but it used to consist of merchant tents and covered wagons, where the secret Harper agent, Beldora, would huddle near strangers to learn what they know, then use a sending stone to pass information to another Harper agent in Hundlestone. 8, Kelvin's Comfort is the most popular tavern in town, run by a shield dwarf named Ogden Flamebeard, known for his signature drink, Flamebeard's Fire Brandy. And this location includes a knighted member of the Order of the Gauntlet, who's hunting a dangerous criminal. Area 9 is the town armory, which can only be opened by Speaker Shane and the sheriff. And 10 is the familiar Blackiron Blades shop and smithy, given nearly identical descriptions in the two modules. Run by dwarf siblings Garn and Elza, they sell cheap weapons to avoid competitions with dwarves from Kelvin's Cairn. Specifically, Storm King's Thunder says that Garn's blades are half the price listed in the player's handbook, but Elza marks up her adventuring supplies to make up the difference. One of my most helpful patrons, Ruben, intentionally gave Garn an outgoing, extroverted personality to entice his party to change the reputation of Blackiron Blades. And I love this little tweak because it gets the players invested in the setting, and it will hook them to the quest of retrieving the iron ingots for this shop. So if you would like to join the conversation on Discord and share even more ideas to make our campaigns more fun, join Patreon through the link below and get one-page PDF guides for all these videos in this series, plus monthly adventure packs, podcast episodes, and more. In addition to subscribing, liking, and sharing these videos, joining Patreon is a fantastic way to support me and our entire community. So thanks. Unlike Blackiron Blades, Rendaril's Emporium is known to be the finest shop in Bryn Shander, owned and operated by, you guessed it, Rendaril, a shrewd half-elf merchant who learned his trade in the cutthroat markets of Waterdeep and sells just about everything. And Storm King's Thunder names 3 inns: a quiet hostel for traveling Scrimshanders called the Hooked Knucklehead, an old, dirty, but popular place called Geldenstag's Rest, and the Northlook. Also included in Rime of the Frostmaiden, the Northlook is the most popular inn for mercenaries and adventurers, so it's the most dangerous place to stay, and the best spot in all of 10 towns to get leads on profitable ventures, along with the latest news and rumors. The owner is a retired human mercenary named Scramsax, who lets adventurers stay on credit, then later charges them a ridiculous amount of interest. But the most important feature of the Northlook Inn is Ol' Bitey, a goofy mounted knucklehead trout that occasionally snaps at guests and sings a little ditty, and at your discretion, Ol' Bitey may contain the lost signet ring sought by a character with the Ring Hunter secret. The Northlook is also where your party can get the Foaming Mug's quest to retrieve a sled of iron ingots, marked with the Foamy Mug symbol of the Battlehammer dwarves near Kelvin's Cairn, and then deliver these ingots to the Blackiron Blades. The quest giver is Hruna, one of 3 bundled up yet frostbitten dwarves with a raspy smoker's voice, who explains that a yeti attacked them and tore their companion Ubak limb from limb. Hruna offers a gemstone worth 50 gold to each character in the party, and a second dwarf offers to buy them snowshoes if necessary. The quest includes contingencies for what happens if your party tries to steal the gems from Hruna, and if they refuse the quest, like my party did. So I enjoyed watching how Nate's party on WASD 20 Live handled it, but you should consider some of these alternative quest hooks besides the gemstones, like helping Blackiron Blades, a general dwarven sense of duty, valuable yeti hide or horns, or maybe just replacing the yeti with Shardlin berserkers, even the victim himself, Ubak, who finally succumbed to the madness caused by his own mysterious Shardlin trinket during a blizzard that allowed his companions to escape. Then, the search for the sled involves getting caught in a blizzard, see the Arctic Wilderness video, and finding the limbless torso of Ubak, whose head is already at the Yeti's lair on Kelvin's Cairn according to the Mountain Climb quest from Targos, and tracks around the body heading south. A DC 10 survival check reveals that the tracks are only an hour old, and that the footprints were left by 6 small humanoids wearing snowshoes. After a half hour of tracking, your party spots 6 groaning goblins, 120 feet ahead, dragging the sled toward a 20-foot tall wagon another 120 feet out, conveniently fitting both groups in the 300-foot visibility, but only during the 4 twilight hours of the day. Otherwise, your party only hears the grumbling goblins until the goblin boss lights a torch atop the wagon, suddenly revealing this intimidating structure and the giant angry polar bears. The goblins will negotiate if the characters attempt a truce, which I recommend for small parties, and they're willing to trade the ingots, worth 150 gold, for simple necessities like blankets or rations. If they abandon diplomacy, the goblin boss is apparently willing to torch the entire wagon to escape with her 2 potions of animal friendship, which would be very useful if your characters try freeing the bears. But feel free to replace one of the bears with a snowy owlbear, or another beast awakened by Ravison, the evil frost druid hiding out around Lonelywood. And for a good encounter map, check out the Lonelywood video, which was sponsored by the Icewind Dale Premium Map Pack, now available on the DM's Guild. Remember, if you want Discord access and PDFs of these guides, you can join Patreon like Samshi, MG, Rachel, Chad, Laura, Michael, Rick, B, Josh's Name, and Jimothy just did. Thank you all for your support, and keep building.